exploit my dog for views. Now we got a dog. His name is Roscoe. He has a chubby face. No, but right now we are inside my apartment. That's very dirty. And we're going to start the teardown on the Miata. I drove it today. That's probably my third time driving it. Yeah, it's my third time driving it since it started making knocking sounds. And I was trying to see, I could tell it's lifters now, but I'm trying to see if I could run flush to it and maybe clean it up. But that did not work. It's still knocking really loud. So I'm actually going to tear down the lifters and clean them out and see if that helps. I've seen it helped a couple times with really loud lifters, and I'm going to have to steal one of these because I'm going to be soaking them in degreaser. And so luckily there's 16 of these, 16 lifters. Going to tear them all down and clean out all the old oil from them and put them back together, slap them back in, redo the timing belts, which I've never done before, so I'm kind of worried about it. But redo the timing belt and see if all goes well. When I was driving, I was ripping on it pretty good, and it seemed to be fine. Like, not exploding wise. He's lazy, dude. He's not going to do anything you tell him to do. Yeah, but it seemed to be good non-exploding wise. So right now we're just going to go back to his place, pick up his tools and my tools so we can both have a set to use and get this thing torn apart. Hopefully for the last time I have to tear it apart for a while. Before I eventually turbo it. When I'm not broke. Oh. Yeah, and then we checked it's on his Instagram, which I'll tag in the description, same as mine. We checked the timing on his car. It was trashed. His timing is way off. If like here's the timing line and then here's like the indicator, it was like up here. Is where the timing actually was. He doesn't bark much either. Yeah, but his timing is way off. And he needs a crankshaft position sensor and some evap stuff. And probably an O2 sensor. Oh, your MAF sensor was bad.
I forgot what that is.
Intake.
Okay.
That piece on the intake.
Oh, maybe because my ass decided to do that.
Nah, did you unplug it?
Nah, I didn't unplug it.
Yeah, so I don't know. His car needs some work. My car needs some work. The Mazda 6 AC just stopped working yesterday. That's about it with the Mazda 6. It's just the AC stopped working. And I think it's just low on Freon because there's a low Freon cutoff. Anyways, this clip is getting pretty long for an intro, so let's head out. I know. I'm not going to either. They're too soft. Alright, so anyways, we're back. We got his toolbox, my toolbox. His is freaking heavy. It's like 80 pounds. I've never torn the top end of the motor off, so I'm assuming it's just all these bolts around. That, the crank angle sensor, and I believe I have to take off the front timing cover.
Hey, who the hell cares?
I hope that's all. I may end up getting a new water pump and timing belt and stuff, so take apart the intake, take that off, take the radiator out so I have full room, take off the thermostat housing, take all that off, and do a little bit of maintenance on the motor. But for right now, I just want to try to get this thing running good because I miss driving it. Oh man, I wish I had gloves. This thing's hot.
Can we get the other ones?
Yes.
See if this one can fit.
Alright, we're going to take a test here. I wonder, can I flip the camera still? Nope, I just took a screenshot though. Alright. Oh shit. See, the thing is, I have ridiculously large hands. And so, a lot of people's gloves will not fit my hands. This is so pointless content. They fit?
Oh.
What?
I don't want to wear these ones.
Those do not fit me at all. Those are nowhere near fitting me.
Oh, I don't want to fucking wear these.
Why? They're husky, man.
I don't know, they have this nasty ass feet smell. Or
gear oil.
yeah,
Gear oil all over.
Goddamn Miata.
Smells like burnt hair.
I used to do it with my cousin.
Alright.
Xavier.
So it's time to start turning into a motor I've never done before.
Ooh.
Also, with the Mazda 6, I believe it's just, I don't know if I mentioned, it's low on Freon. There's a low Freon cutoff.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Okay, cool. So that's easy to fix. That's perfectly fine. And as you can see, yes, I did not put the rear struts in. They're way too soft and they make the car do that shit when you're driving. At least that's what I've read and heard, and I'm not using them. And I want to lift the front up more because the front is, yeah, let's see. Yeah, touchscreen. El Slamo wheel gap. I want it all like the rear just because it's a daily. But I may bring the rear down a touch and the front up a touch. But it doesn't rub at all. So I guess we'll get started. Oh, I guess we'll get started on the motor and kind of figure out what we're doing first, and then I'll record again. I'm assuming so. So I'm gonna start by taking out all the coil packs. So I see you guys in a second. Peace. So we got the valve cover off. So I remember reading that a small test you could do is if you can, these are the lifters right here, everything's hot, right there, those are the lifters. And they say if you can squeeze them by hand, if you could push them and they squeeze, then they're pretty bad. None of these I can really squeeze by hand. I still do want to try taking them out, maybe, because I got nothing else to lose at this point. If I have to, I'll slap it together and rod knock it over to my cousin's and rebuild the whole engine there.
Got a marker?
No, why?
So we can go like this and like that. Just in case we let them, how the way that we left them?
No, because the belt doesn't matter. It's
No, I'm talking about these, the cams.
Yeah, the cams only go on. So the cams have timing marks underneath this cover. When I got to put them on, there's an I and an E, and then there's marks down there. Also, this seems pretty loose. I don't know how tension this is supposed to be. It seems loose over here, but it also seems like it's on pretty tight. No, I can redo the cams. I just have to take the cover off right there, like the whole front cover off, both front covers off.
Okay.
But for right now, I guess we're just gonna take the cams out. I'll just have to store them somewhere properly so I don't break them. If not, I'll have to buy a new 1.6 cams, which would blow. But yeah, it's the current state. Everything's apart. Oh, not everything, but valve cover's off and nothing looks too out of place, but I'm still going to take them out anyways. Yeah, those should be 10s. So, looks like we're going to crack all these loose. I'll do time lapse, but I don't know if you can notice. I'm on a different phone. As per usual, my old one broke, and this doesn't have a time lapse function on it. But it's fine because I was going to be upgrading phones anyways. Because I can't afford cameras. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so we'll see you guys in a second when the cams are ready to come out. The cams are out. And we're ready to remove the lifters. But it's not looking good. So if here's, right here you can see. Let's see for the focus. Exhaust, I don't know if they're 2-6s, but this is the exhaust one cam, obviously. Cam cover, it's big. That looks pretty smooth there. Everything looks pretty good. But then as you go down the line, there's more junk. There's some junk that got on there just recently. And it's just about the same story on the intake. And then here's my exhaust cam. The cams don't look too bad, honestly, and when you run your fingers across, you don't really feel anything. It still feels smooth. Even through the glove, I could feel on those. And I have my gloves off, but I just put them back on because I got a cut on my hand. And here's the intake, obviously, with the crank angle sensor portion on there, and it's pretty scarred up looking, but it's still smooth. But yeah, currently things are not looking too good with these cam covers. Right now he's in there grabbing more bags for the lifters so we can put them in there, and we're gonna need them so when we start soaking. So right now I gotta, once I take these out, I'm gonna have to mark them too. Sorry, they're a little slick. So here's just the lifter. The lifter bucket, I believe there's the shim inside there. There's the small weep hole. This is what I'm going to try rebuilding and hoping for the best, but they still feel really firm. Like, if these are bad, I'd be able to squish them. Here. Here's one lifter and bucket. Or that's just the lifter bucket. So I guess I'll just put, just to be safe, I'll put all the exhaust cams in one and the intake cams in another. These I've seen from videos of just them getting kind of rebuilt. They all look scarred up. What picture did you send me?
Well, I sent you a picture?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it a picture of my dog you're trying to send a voice?
No, I'm trying to send a picture of that.
Just gonna keep squeezing. So right now that's the current state of the motor. Not great. So I guess we'll see once we have the lifters inside and we start tearing them apart and rebuilding them, which I'm gonna have to destroy one of my towels. I'm sorry, babe. We'll get more later.
Wait, what?
We got the lifters inside. As you can see, I got them mostly torn apart. It's super easy. There's all the old dirty oil that came out. You just take your lifter bucket and pry that out. Dump out the old oil. Boom. Takes 2 seconds, really. Sometimes they can be really stuck. I haven't gotten any like that. Mine have all come apart relatively easy. I'm just hoping this is the problem. I'm hoping that scarring isn't too bad, because like with bearings and things like that, it always looks worse than it really is, because it's still not like super bad, but it's not that great. That's actually all the lifters torn apart. Here's the exhaust lifters, here's the intake. So it's hard to, there's still oil inside, that's crazy. Like a nice puddle of oil. So this is just the surface where the, you want to click on that and let's see if it'll brighten up inside there. Ooh. Uh-oh. I'm trying to get the brightness to go up. That looks terrible everywhere else, but you can see inside the lifter. That's just where the plunger sits, and then eventually it pumps oil through and it comes out that little weep hole right there. I'm getting oil everywhere. But it comes out that little weep hole right there. And sometimes what can happen, I believe, is the oil becomes too gummed up and it can't come out of the weep hole properly. And so it stops being able to suck in oil since it can't put any out, and it's not adjusting itself anymore. And that's what's causing the, usually you get, hey, quit chewing on that shoe. Dude. So usually you just get lifter tick, but when it becomes really bad, it'll start to clatter. Get out of here. You have a choice. It'll start to clatter really bad when the lifters just completely collapse and stop being adjustable at all. Which I think is what happened, because usually you're able to get these to pump. You can squish them, but they, like, even with these full of no oil, they don't pump at all. Which means there's no oil in them, like, whatsoever. They're completely bottomed out. And that's how they were coming right out of the car. And we had just ran the car not too long. Like, everything was still hot. These were still warm when I was taking them apart. They just barely now cooled off. So I think they were all just like collapsed. They weren't taking in oil like that anymore. I may end up trying to throw in a new oil pump. I'm afraid my engine may be having oil starvation. But for now, I'm going to soak these in degreaser, engine degreaser, and then kind of pre-fill them with oil, and then slap them back in the car. Honestly, this didn't really take any time at all. I'm going to get in so much trouble. Oh, the lifters don't fit. That's tragic. So I'll have to find a different container. This didn't take long at all. It took us, what, 45 minutes to get all the lifters out and torn apart now? Mm-hmm. So, not bad. So I'll see you guys in a second once we're starting to reassemble the lifters, soak them in oil, put them back in the motor, put the motor back together. I don't know if that's happening today or anytime soon. I may have to wait. But I just hope this fixes it. I hope so bad. Ooh, I forgot to take apart this too. So inside here is a spring, and there's a little ball down there. And you want to soak all of these. These I can soak in here. these all go together, so you cannot separate them. I think you can actually, but like it's probably not advised. So I'm going to set these all individually. So I guess I'll keep tearing apart lifters. Why do I keep grabbing that one? How do I do all these exhausts? Yeah, it's just a little tedious. I think there's also a bearing inside there, a little ball. So that's kind of how it pumps it. The ball goes up and down. So I guess you can stop recording. I'm sure they don't want to see me tear apart all these little lifter pumps. You're just going to keep recording?
No, I'm stopping.
Alright, so one thing I want to show you, and this is actually on the last lifter. So these, like I said, are the pumps to the lifters, and if I squish this, like as hard as I can, it's not pumping at all. It's not moving. If I take it apart real quick, actually here I want to keep the lift the spring on that end, and I let the old oil out, and I separate them, and then just throw them right back together. You're going to notice the lifter itself, the pump is a lot longer, and if you look, it's pumping again. And all 16 of these lifters were stuck down like that. So I don't think any of these are really pumping themselves with oil. Now, I really could just slap these back together, like get a bowl of oil, pump them, pre-fill them, and slap them back together. But I'm going to go get engine degreaser and kind of let these clean out, make sure they're all super nice and clean. And then throw them back in. If the motor's still knocking and ticking like that, I'm just going to have to pull the motor out. I can bring the car to my cousin's house, which he's worked on cars. This dog, man. He's worked on cars hundreds of times. I'm just going to have to invest in an engine hoist and engine stand to tear it apart. Hey, Roscoe.
He's smiling.
And an engine hoist and engine stand. And then I may, if I'm going to rebuild it, I'm just going to have the car be down for a while and do, not a full forge build, dude, whatever, dude. Not a full forge build, but I may end up slapping just a rod and piston in there. And that way when I do boost the motor, I can run it, probably just stock compression too. I can run it up to like 300 horsepower, probably. It'll take a while for me to have a turbo that can do that, because I'm going to be running eBay turbos. And I want, on a motor like the Miata, you want a small turbo that can hit high power, so that's where you hit in your name brand turbos like Precision and Borg Warner and stuff like that. So I guess now I will see you guys next time once these are all done soaking, getting all the oils off of them and everything, and they're good to be put back together. We got everything soaking in purple power, and it all worked really well. You can see the layer of oil right there. Ooh, I need to clip my nail. Especially on these right there, you can see them all over. So I actually think they're pretty much ready for reassembly. If you look, you can't really see because they look shiny from the start, but you can really feel they're not as oily, slick anymore.
Hey, once you do put these back in the car, if it doesn't tick, are you going to drive to work?
Maybe. I hope it doesn't tick. Here you go. Oh, these are also just the valve cover bolts, all the can caps. They're labeled, so we didn't care. Alright, yeah, it's valve cover bolts, and these are the can bolts. So, always keep them in bags, help you stay organized. You can easily tell what they are, you don't got to worry about labeling them, honestly. Like, none of these are the same, obviously. None of these are a cap.
Yeah, we didn't learn the lesson the first time. When dropping the transmission.
I don't know that. Gonna take one of those. Take everything out of this. I'm gonna grab that right here. Grab this. Ooh, I should probably get a bowl of oil, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna get a bowl of oil together. That way I can put these back together and then start playing Pokemon Go. Start pumping them together. There you go. So I'm actually going to I dropped it and sprung off. I'm actually going to get a bowl of oil, which the oil I left in the trunk of my car.
That's some dirty ass oil though.
No, one's dirty, one's brand new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you get a 5 gallon or 5 quart thing of oil, you don't got to worry about putting that in. You're not going to use the whole 5 quarts on a Miata. Alright, well, it looks like I got to go out to the Miata first and grab the oil out of the trunk. Oh, you know what? Look at it. There's a... Oh, you're not going to be able to see this on camera. There's a thin layer of oil inside there that I can wipe up.
You should flip those upside down.
These? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, cause yeah, see. Is that drinkable? Cause it looks like Kool-Aid.
No, but we do have Kool-Aid if you want to make some.
Aw, shit.
Ow. Ow!
Ooh. You have a cut on that one?
Yeah, I have a cut on both of these fingers, and Purple Power freaking stings.
What do we do it for you?
Just make sure I don't dip my freaking middle finger in Purple Power.
Purple Power.
At least I know it's clean. It still burns. It still burns really bad. Oh, yeah, you do it. You do it. Oh, this burns really bad. Now, if you got a cut on your finger and you don't know, you're going to find out real quick.
I hope I don't got a cut on my finger.
You already know by now. Like, as soon as it touched it, I just instantly started to feel it burn. And this one's not even the big cut on my finger. Like, it's just a little small little thing right there.
Maybe I should cut my finger if I do have a scar. See how it feels.
See how it cleans up. See, here's a good way to see how much the oil just easily lifts right off. So you see on this one how dark it is?
Yeah.
If I go... See some shininess in there now? Oil just lifts right off. Dark drinking water. Alright.
They should use it to clean up the ocean. Remember that giant oil spill? Throw some purple up in there, you know what I'm saying?
Purple fire, just a bunch of purple fire. You can also see just how much oil came off. Look at this, how it's lighter colored still, because there wasn't as much oil. Compared to this purple fire, how dark it is.
Oh, yeah.
You really see the difference. This is like almost black now. Alright, well, I'm going to have to go out to the Miata and grab some oil. So, you can just quit recording for now. Alright everyone, I don't know how well you can see this. Some time has passed, but we do have the new lifter, or the lifters in, and they actually have some give to them. And they're actually, you know, when you squeeze them, you can see oil come out. Now I just have to take off the intake. I'm going to try to leave the hose because I don't want to have to get coolant because I am broke. And get the front of the timing assembly off so I can get the motor at top dead center and retime it, which means I got to take out the spark plugs, which I'm hoping I have my spark plug socket. If not, that's going to be a challenge. But this has gone by a lot faster than I thought. I am working alone tonight, but luckily he left his tools. So it's just going to be me on my own, figuring all this stuff out. But yeah, just a small update that the lifters are in, and they do seem to be functioning a lot better. They actually feel like they're doing something. So I'll see you guys in a second, mostly because I need the flashlight, so I can't sit here and hold the phone up. But I'll see you guys later. Peace. I just got back from taking a little lunch break. As you can see, water pump, pulley, belts. I did end up taking the radiator hose off. Intake manifold. And boom, the whole front of the motor is torn apart. I do have it lined up at TDC or top dead center. That's probably impossible to see. Let's see. Yeah, it's impossible to see. But there's a little notch there that when this arrow here, or here, sorry. Also, my back hurts like you would not believe. Being 6'3" while working on cars that are lowered is not fun. Oh, you can actually kind of see the notch right there. And then this is actually a little arrow here. There you go. When that's lined up with that notch, Cylinder 1 is at top dead center, as long as it's not on, obviously, the reverse end, or it's on bottom center. So I have it on top dead center. That way I can put the cams that I forgot inside on. That's great. Looks like I'll be going back inside. But yeah, I got those on, and then it's just going to be routing the belts around the tensioners, around each cam, counting the cams, making sure I got everything on good, and then tightening down all the cam caps, putting all the front cover on and everything, all that stuff, putting back on the belts, spark plugs, ignition coils, and it would be good to start, but the crank angle sensor, I do not know its position. So what I'm gonna have to do, hey, he took off those 2 front bolts. What I'm gonna have to do is get a timing light, which we actually have one here, but we do not have the wires to it. I don't have the wires to it right now. They're actually at my friend's place, so looks like that's just gonna have to be broken for now. Not broken, but not. It's gonna have to be untimed. Not saying I'm gonna fire it up with no timing. It's not gonna be able to run tonight. I may try to start it and see what happens, but I don't know if that's a good idea. But I'm just gonna keep chugging on. I want to get this motor slapped together. If all I gotta do is go take the dad wagon to go get a timing light, time this thing tomorrow, and that's it, and then I am a-okay with that. Even though I don't know how to do the timing, so that's something I'd have to learn how to do. Because I know it's just this little trigger wheel right there, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'll see you guys when the motor is all together. Hopefully, it may not be a video, it may just be pictures, because my phone is kind of dying. Whenever it's low, I can't use the flash, and you guys obviously can't see anything without the flash. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Peace. Alright guys, we just... I don't know what the hell's going on. Check out this proper squat technique. He has a spropper. I mean, spropper. It's got the spropper. So we got the motor timed, I believe. I hope so. It took all of last night. As you can see, it's a new day. It took all of last night, and then well into this morning. So I'm hoping it's all good. So now I'm just wrapping up everything, putting back on the belts. Actually, right now, as it speaks, the car, I could slap the valve cover on, put on the spark plugs. And it's good to run, because the other belt just goes to power steering pump and AC compressor. My car's power steering does not work, my AC don't work, it's just an accessory belt, not really needed. This is like your main serpentine belt, I guess you can call it. This has your water pump.
Oh, you got the belt on there already.
Alternator. So, I gotta go get a valve cover. Ooh, I forgot to grab the spark plug socket. That's in the car.
Which one?
Mod 6. It's in the back. We'll go grab it. I'm just going to toss the spark plug. So I'm going to be ordering new plugs and wires, because I want to get platinum plugs because I'm bougie. So I'm going to be ordering platinum plugs. And different wires. It also turns out, I realized the belt tensioner on the main timing belt was never tight. They pulled the tensioner into its loosest position and then cranked the bolt down so that the tensioner won't move, which is what you normally do to adjust your timing to put on the belt. It makes it easier. Well, they never loosened it back up and allowed the tensioner to do its thing. So I've had a loose timing belt the whole time I've driven my car. And for who knows how long. What do I do with that spark plug socket? Could have sworn I threw it in here, but then it'd be sitting right on top, but it's not.
Oh, I didn't know Stubby was in here.
Yep. Yeah, I have a ratchet strap.
Just in case my car breaks down, you can tell.
You know what? That's smart.
Huh?
So that's smart. I always said I was going to keep a skateboard in mind in case my shit broke. I'll just skateboard.
Yeah, speaking of skateboard, I got shit. I got no backup ride.
Nope. Neither do I. If both of these cars go down, I am screwed. What did I do with that freaking spark plug socket?
That's how you close your trunk.
You don't keep that thing on you. Stay strapped. Don't you just love tightening down spark plugs? This is where I wish I had an electric ratchet. Just a little. Just put it on. I don't need no drill or impact. It's like, these are just spark plugs. Should I just upgrade my injectors while I'm in here, dude?
I guess.
Get some RX-8 yellow top injectors and an upgraded fuel pump, a mega squirt, ITBs, make it go faster. I'll still be slow, don't get me wrong. I think I should just pump 20 pounds of boost through this thing and, you know, give this motor a last hoorah. Okay.
So you just rub the hell out of it.
Just rev the hell, just start it up and until it's not living anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Torqued to spec. We're done until I go get a valve cover gasket.
Go again.
So we just got back from getting intake manifold, the hell. Valve cover.
You smoking?
I think that thing will smoke the engine first. Valve cover gasket, drinks essential, and I got a muffin. So since I've been doing all the work here, lazy ass is gonna put the. We got a gasket. I accidentally just ended the recording. I'm not fixing it. We got the gasket. We got drinks. I got a muffin. You didn't get a muffin. You didn't ask for one.
You install this shit. No.
Oh no, wait. Let's actually grab the valve cover.
Hey, you know what? Where's the old one at?
In the trash.
Oh, this was pretty loose.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why I said they're supposed to be like that. They hardened over time.
Oh, yeah, this is mine now.
Man, come here.
No.
Alright. I should get a new PCV valve. Even though I don't think this one's bad, it's best to just change them.
The seatbelt for the engine.
So you're going to have to stretch it into place, kind of. At least that's how every other gasket I've done is. Because they're made to be a little small, and then you stretch them kind of into place. That way they stay. And then they just kind of end up hardening in that place. Oh, we didn't grab the RTV.
That was an RTV.
What?
The hell's that?
The freaking, essentially, liquid gasket in a little tube.
Was that one thing that we got where you grabbed when you was looking at that tube, when we was looking at that toolbox?
Yeah, great stuff. Because you're supposed to put it on the corner of the head. For anyone who doesn't know about Miatas, anywhere where the valve seals, that's a sharp corner, you put RTV. So in these corners on here, and right there and there. Which means we're going to have to redo this.
Redo what?
This. Not like get a new gasket, but once we get over there, we're going to have to wait for it to cool down and then pop the valve cover off.
Let's go racing.
Or you don't have to put RTV, but most gaskets tend to leak if you don't.
Let's go racing.
How about I put on my valve cover first?
Ah, that's good.
Still racing. Got the airflow engine. I got the exposed cam gears. All right, now here, pick up the front. Come on, man. I'm operating off one hand.
Oh man, I'm always doing this.
It's always this. It's always that. Wrong bag.
It's in there. He's the greatest ever. I wonder why.
Oh, I was gonna say, did we put the did we put the freaking thing on in here? But then I saw them, yeah. The bolts to the coil pack. All right, just start grabbing bolts. Just drop them in there.
Wrong one.
You grab the one and only different bolt. Actually, I think there's two in there. Seems so close to firing, but I'm so scared. No, not that one, not that one, not that one. Not yet. We gotta get the PCV hose.
So why are you scared?
One, what if it still ticks? Two, what if the cam timing is off?
I would just say it's your fault.
I mean, technically it is.
How?
Because I did it. Alright, here. Slip a bolt through.
It's funny. Those are all the bolts for it, and that. Where did they go? Oh! Where's the six?
Did you set them inside the Mazda? Why would you do that? What do you mean we're taking a trip?
Don't move out, huh?
Isn't this video just excellent? You missed! There you go.
Two, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
What? These are wrong.
No?
Yeah, no, they're gonna be silver ones, just like those.
Where the hell did I grab those from?
I don't know. I don't even know what these go to.
No, you got, what the hell?
So I just filled my phone storage and cut the recording. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown. We got a valve cover gasket. We got everything put back on for the most part. He's tightening on everything. Now it's just coil packs. And then the car's gonna run. It's gonna run terribly because we have to do the timing. But do you have the that bolt still? The big bolt? Okay.
Yo, Gabba Gabba.
Yo, Gabba Gabba. Alright, watch out. Move your hand.
Hey, that skinny dude always make me feel weird.
I've never watched Yo Gabba Gabba. I've heard about it, but...
Yeah, me either. I just saw this shit. I was like, that shit was weird.
This shit looks weird. Alright. Good. I should probably just undo the clamp, but honestly, no.
Hey, at least it's cool under here.
True that.
Once the sun comes out.
It's a weirdly hot day here in Arizona. It's the middle of December, and it was actually kind of hot. Only when you're in direct sunlight. Still kind of cool in the shade. Alright.
I thought we were in California. What the hell?
Where have you been? Isn't it 1987? California? Venice Beach? Come on, man! Where are we at?
No, I think that was in the 60s. What year again?
You missed one right here. Let me see. This nigga always half-assing the work.
Yeah, man, I did the same thing with the transmission bolts and the exhaust.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna have to double check all your freaking work.
Oh no, I didn't fully tighten them already.
Now it's tightened. This one needs to be tightened.
Oh, it's still loose.
Yeah, as I'm tightening them, they're feeling more and more loose. That one's good. This one's loose. Okay, you want to record? I think I'm done with my muffin for now. I ate half of it. Oh yeah, I got a muffin. You guys, the other update. I got a muffin.
He knows the Muffin Man.
I do?
Yeah.
We're friends. We go way back.
Shit. I know the Muffin Man.
You know, I think I left the bolts for these inside. Which means they're not important.
I mean, I don't see ain't nothing's gonna get in front of it, isn't it?
No. Pretty much just there is like a thin finish.
Shh, we're good.
I mean, shh.
Just don't tell the Miata, man, that we didn't put the bulb
It
in.
literally just bolts down to the valve cover. Like, oh fuck, this one's really loose. Like, it's not like if these bolts went through the valve cover and onto the head for a sealing bolt, like these ones do, then I'd be like, yeah, we need them because it'll just leak. But it doesn't. Okay, when you're tightening these down, remember they're just a 10 mil. Do not crank them. Okay, if it leaks, give it a couple little like quarter turn again, but there's no need to wrench down on these things
Is this a how-to video?
right from the jump. No, but this is just a tip. Remember when I wasn't paying attention on my transmission and snapped a 10mm bolt inside my shifter turret?
Oh, wait, remember me and I snapped the thing on my car?
Yeah. But your stupid ass was tightening it, not loosening it like you thought you were. So you're like, come on, come on. Oh, I was tightening it. I was like, oh, you are so fucking dumb. Here's the last piece.
Let's fire it up!
This could be my excitement or my
Or
disappointment.
disappointment.
I say we just leave it and sell the car how it is.
Did you even tighten up the spark plug hose?
Yeah, but the bolt just fell. I'll be right back.
What'd you do? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. But are those tightened?
Yeah, those are tightened.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna check this out. Shh, that didn't happen.
Hey, is that how it's supposed to look?
What?
How the way that's a nice little setup you going on right there.
Yeah, you know, you just kind of. It's good.
Damn.
Remember the time we accidentally forgot to hook up the spark plugs or the boots, and we made them run. I made the car run on one cylinder.
Didn't you drove it with one cylinder?
I did.
Oh, shit.
I took it down the neighborhood to see if the car could do it. I was just seeing if the car could do it. One goes there. You know, I'm keeping this magnet stick.
No.
You got two.
Hey, but one of them doesn't stick as hard as that one.
What if this is the one? I just grabbed the first magnet stick I saw. Oh, it is my magnet stick.
I'll call the cops.
I don't care.
You know what?
Try me. Okay, I need a wrench though. I really should have cleaned these threads up.
Yeah, I'll
Good.
get their
I'll
Ford.
see
I'll get the
that.
Ford Focus and race you with this.
Listen, even though you're gonna win, okay, just know you're still driving a Focus.
Well,
Like a base model Focus.
I got an idea. How about you get the Cobalt?
Gross.
Gross.
Cobalts aren't cool till they had an SS badge.
Yeah.
And even then, they were just Cobalt still. I thought you Cobalt SS and Neon SRT 4Runners. It's still a Cobalt and it's still a Neon.
The more you know.
If I can find that, I'll put it in. Even though then I'm going to have to chop the video, find the video clip, insert it, make sure I time it right. It'll take me all of like 2 extra minutes on the video editing part of things.
Can I give it the first startup?
No.
Yeah. That's lame.
If I have to take this motor out to rebuild it, I'm putting upgrades on it.
Like what?
I don't know if I'm going to do a rod and piston, because if I'm going to build an engine, it's probably going to be a 1.8, to be honest, a VVT motor. But I may end up doing like a Boundary Engineering oil pump with billet gears. Just upgrade the oil pump on it. Upgrade the harmonic balancer. That.
All right, so the moment of truth, right?
Yeah.
Fire up. No ticking. Come on.
I don't know if it'll run though, because it needs ignition timing.
Oh yeah. It's still ticking.